Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today, we're going to be talking about all the things that I think you should do for Phase 2 preparation. Just a bunch of things that are either super min-maxy, or just general tips that you can do to make sure that your characters and your leveling experience from 25 to 40 is going to be very, very sound and the best that you can do, as well as you can invest your time now to make it really good, opposed to investing time later. And I think that'll be really, really beneficial. But before we get into the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Everything you guys do helps my channel grow, helps me get discovered, and helps me help as many people as possible, which is the entire point of my channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the very first tip that I have for you guys is to have a leveling plan. How do you want to get from 25 to 40? Whether that means pre-questing, which I demonstrated on my mage, as well as whether you're going to dungeon grind or you're just going to go out there, quest, and play the game. Any of these methods are acceptable. Any of these can be good. Just having a plan, having it ready, and being able to go out there and get it instead of having to, spend your first 30 minutes or an hour just thinking about what you're doing and it just being kind of a flexy mess. Especially if you plan on dungeon grinding, definitely make a preset group with your guild, get 5 people ready to go that all have similar goals with you. Whether you're going to duo, trio, or level in the world, just, plan those things out. It helps a lot, way more than you know, when you're trying to get to 40 in a decent time to maybe get that day one lockout or week one. We don't really know exactly how they're going to release it, but getting that first lockout is super important. The next, I want to talk about consumes and sort of world buffs. Some consumes are super, super cheap. Like right here, we have 8 strength, 8 agi. You can get this for like 30 silver for both of them. And just as a melee class, having 8 strength and 8 agi just blasting the entire time speeds you up quite a bit, because that's actually a decent buff. Then obviously, Boon of Black Fathom, make sure you have this. Make sure you have it booned if you're going into PvP zones, stuff like that. I think this will be really beneficial to probably have the entire time. I'd imagine some people are going to save their boons and just be ready to drop those as well, because you can turn it in multiple times per character. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's repeatable, so you can just have a lot of boons at Black Fathom going out, and it is an incredibly good world buff, mainly for the movement speed by 20%. It's just that good. Next thing I want to talk about is flight paths and important connection points. So make sure you're going to have all the flight paths that you plan to go to. As Horde, that would probably be Thousand Needles, Feralus, and Tenaris. You really don't need Ungoro or Silithus, which is why I haven't gotten those yet. But for Phase 2, it'll definitely be important to get Thousand Needles, Tenaris, and Feralus. You can go and get Fellwood if you really want to as Horde, and Winter Spring if you really want to death run and die a ton, but the only thing it really connects is Moonglade, and as a druid, it's not really that beneficial, because those aren't really till Phase 3, I'd imagine. Then the most important flight paths to get, if you're Alliance, you're going to want to make sure you get this Azara flight path right here. If you do not get this one, you will not connect your Kalimdor. And then as Horde, you really, the most important one to get is Kargath. As you can see, I've explored it, so I've been there and I've gotten this flight path. Kargath is going to be huge. Another one for Horde is going to make sure you get Swamp of Sorrows, which is one that I actually have not done yet. But I would highly recommend as Horde you get Swamp of Sorrows as well as your Kargath flight path. Kargath connects all of the lower Eastern Kingdoms to upper Eastern Kingdoms for Horde, so it is very, very important. Next, an important thing that I mentioned, and I'll actually have it in the thumbnail, is that mounts are going to be 45 gold total if you are honored with your rep. So we're getting the Season of Mastery mounts. You can go check this by going to your mount vendor and looking. It'll be 36 for the mount and 9 gold for the writing. But just making sure you have enough gold to get your mount when you hit level 40. Mount is the biggest, most important thing to have. So making sure you have enough gold to have that. Since we've been at 25, we've been stockpiling, as well as in the process of leveling. You will probably get 45 gold, but it's just important to make sure that you have 45 gold. I can't emphasize that enough when you reach that point. Then next thing I want to talk about is going to be leveling up profession / having a profession plan. An example of my profession plan on my druid is I have been stockpiling Goldthorn because these agility elixirs are going to be insane. It takes 185 agility or 185 alchemy. And so you can just sort of, that's a key thing. I'll have Goldthorn, I'll have Stranglekelp. I can make a bunch of those, and that's 15 agi at level 27, which will be really, really good for my class. And another thing that I want to show you guys here is if we go to the alchemy trainer, it's really important to note that she's only an expert one. I got to go elsewhere. But the professions are level 26 right now. I do not know if to go to 225 they will change it. So we can look at skinny right here. See how it's 26 to level up to get that 150 to 225 bracket range. I do not know if they will lower it to 25. I'd imagine they do. I would hope they do, but they could simply leave it at 26, which would suck because you would go out in the world and you'd start leveling, and if you had any profession goals, plans, stuff like that, you'd have to come back and then start doing them. It could really be a pain in the butt. So just something to keep in mind, and maybe consider pre-questing just to 26. That's not too hard to do. And then you could sort of blast out your professions then. Just really depends on what your priorities are and stuff you can do. Another point, and this is really interesting, hunters can really do this for pretty much every class that you'd want to do this, but there are some awesome blue rare spawns, blue drops from rare spawns that are higher level that you could go out there and farm. There's a really good cape that's like 10 agi, 4 strength that is going to be pre-bis, and it'll be really difficult to kill these mobs, but you could go out and farm them right now to have some upgrades ready to go from 25 to 30. Generally on the age, stuff that's not usable does sell really well, unless it's like an underworld band or something incredibly rare. You could go out and get some gear ready to go to upgrade to blast as well. Just a small little tip that you can do. Another one that is pretty important is inventory management. Before you go out and leveling, only take essential stuff. If you look at my bags, you'll see like I have one bear steak. Like I don't need to have that. I probably don't need my fishing pole. I probably don't need this jingling bell. I just have a lot of stuff. Like I don't need my winter hats and things. I don't need to carry this elixir frost power recipe, one leaded vial. So I can just sort of empty out my bags, clear out my bags. And then another thing is have a bank alt or an alt character that you can just mail stuff to and process later. Because if you're processing all the loot that you're getting, you're going to slow down your leveling experience by quite a bit. So what I like to do is I just mail it all off to Bank of Kaghoe, and then I will sort it and distribute it to whoever needs to, whether it's tailoring, alchemy, whatever it is, just send them out to their proper people for their proper professions. And then another tip that we have is Rested XP. So because we're capped at level 25, if you have alts, for example, say we're in phase 2 right here, I would not be getting Rested XP on all of these characters. What you need to do in order to start it once phase 2 launched is to make sure that you log into a separate character. Any alts you have, anyone that's level 25, they will not start acquiring Rested XP until you log into them. So make sure you log into all your alts and characters so you can get the most out of them. Otherwise, it is going to, you'll be very sad if you just blast 1 to 40 and then you're thinking, oh yeah, all these alts I got to 25 are getting Rested XP, and they aren't. So just a quick little tip there. Then finally, this one is very min-maxy, but it is something you can be doing. If we take a look here and go to the Warsong reputation for us, we can see that they drop really good bracers at 40, 50, and 60. All of these are going to be BIS. However, they required being exalted with Warsong. So if you really want to pump, you really want to be full BIS, you're going to need to be exalted with Warsong, because these bracers are insane for every single class in the game. So just something to keep in mind, something to go after. This can sort of be a long-term goal. I would probably, it is a grind, but make sure you're doing your Ashen Veil. You literally just grind out Ashen Veil every time Ashen Veil event is up, and you'll be able to get these these BIS bracers at level 40, 50, and 60. So it's just something really important to make sure that you grind this out. It's really weird because we've never been locked at these points. So like stuff like that is super, super beneficial and something that you can chase after. Now, they're only BIS right now. We do not know if we'll get alternative BIS bracers from the No More Gone raid, stuff like that. It's obviously they can add so many new things to this game, and we can only operate off the information that we do know of because it was already in the game. But anyway, I truly hope this guide helps you out. If there's anything you think I missed, any preparation tips, anything that you'd like to add, definitely drop it down below in the comments. I think it'll be really beneficial to help people out with all of these tips. But anyway, that's it for me. I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. It truly means a lot to me. If you happen to find anyone that you know would also benefit from watching this video, please share it with them. It helps me out a ton and allows me to keep doing what I love every single day, and that is gaming and sort of helping people any way that I can. So finally, thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Goodbye.